Welcome to the Win Zero tutorials. Today we're going over the settings page. This tutorial walks you through the full setup of the Win Zero app's settings page after connecting your meter. These settings are designed to establish the correct orientation for your wind meter and customize how the wind data is displayed in the meters and drift pages. Follow each step to tailor the system to your shooting environment and personal preference. Once configured, go to the Meters or Drift tab to view your live wind data and practice interpreting conditions based on your customized setup. Receiver ID identifies the connected Win Zero receiver. Update this field to match the receiver ID printed on the back of your Win Zero receiver. This is required for the meter to connect and transmit data correctly. Max wind speed. This setting controls the maximum wind speed shown on the y-axis of the wind speed chart. It does not affect how the wind is measured, only how it is visualized in the app. This helps scale the graph appropriately to your environment. We recommend using 10 to 15 for calm areas, use 20 for most environments, increase to 20 to 30 in high wind zones, deserts, coastals, or mountainous areas. Base wind direction. This setting defines your base wind direction. It controls the 0 point on the y-axis on the wind direction chart. Since wind changes constantly, this value should reflect the prevailing or most common wind direction during your session. You'll set this manually based on observed conditions. It does not adjust automatically. How to determine what number to use. You have four main options: 0, 90, 180, or 270. Think of the setting as identifying where the wind is coming from most often. Choose 0 if the wind is mostly in your face, or a headwind. Choose 90 if the wind is coming from your right to left across your path. Choose 180 if the wind is mostly behind you, a tailwind. Or choose 270 if the wind is coming from your left to right across your path. Example: stand at your shooting position and observe where the wind is coming from most often. Is it coming from in front of you, from right to left, from left to right, or from behind you? If the wind is mostly coming from left to right, set your base wind direction to 270. Wind direction range. This setting determines how many degrees to the left and right of your base wind direction the Win Zero system will actually monitor. It defines the range of wind angles the app considers relevant to your shooting setup. By default, it's 90. How to determine what number to use? You have three options: 45, 90, or 180 degrees. Think of this setting as the width of the window you're watching from the wind changes. Choose 45 if you're in a highly controlled environment, like a known crosswind lane, and want to isolate wind coming from a very specific direction. Choose 90 for general shooting scenarios where wind is mostly cross range but may shift moderately. Choose 180 if you're in unpredictable conditions or if you want to monitor the entire hemisphere of wind angles in front or behind your shooting line. Example: if your base wind direction is 270 degrees, wind coming from left to right, setting the wind direction range to 90 will monitor from 180 to 360, giving you a wide crosswind view. If you narrow that to 45, you're now only monitoring from 225 to 315. Great for training in a more stable wind condition or to reduce noise in your data. Wind value filter. This setting smooths out short-term fluctuations in wind speed and direction data for use in wind drift conditions. It doesn't change the actual reading, but it helps reduce noise in the drift calculations. By default, it's 0.25. You can choose from 0.05, 0.010, 0.25, 0.50, or 1.00. Lower values apply more filtering, which smooths out the chart and reduces reaction to short-term wind shifts. High values apply less filtering, offer more real-time responsiveness, and sharper reactions to wind changes. Choose based on your use case. 0.05 or 0.10 for a smooth, stable graph, best when you want to focus on general wind trends and filter out quick, erratic shifts, ideal for gusty or inconsistent wind conditions. 0.25, a balance option for general use, light smoothing while still maintaining decent responsiveness. 0.50 or 1.00 for maximum responsiveness, great for dynamic environments or training where you want to catch every wind shift in real time. Raw data filter. This setting applies a moving average to the incoming raw wind data over time. It helps smooth the data before it's displayed, offering a broader trend rather than a moment to moment fluctuation. How to determine what number to use. You can choose from 0.05, 0.10, 0.25, 0.50, or 1.00. Lower values apply more filtering, smoothing the data heavily and minimizing fast changes. Higher values apply less filtering, showing the raw data more clearly and making the system more reactive to quick shifts. Choose based on your needs. 0.05 or 0.10 use when you want to focus on general trends and move short-term spikes or gusts, ideal for spotting broad wind behaviors. 0.25 or 0.50 offers a moderate balance between trend smoothing and short-term visibility. 0.100 displays data with minimal smoothing, showing wind changes in near real time, ideal for dynamic conditions or detailed training. Recommendations. 0.50 is a good starting place for variable winds. Use low value to clean up noisy signals and track long-term trends. Use high values when you want fast updates and responsiveness to shifts. Chart step. This setting adjusts how compact or stretched the wind chart appears by controlling how many pixels are used for each data step. A smaller number makes the chart more detailed and scroll faster. A higher number spreads the data out and shows a longer timeline at once. How to determine what number to use. You can choose between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. Choose 1 or 2 for a compact, detailed graph that updates quickly, good for tracking rapid wind shifts. Choose 3 to 5 for a balance between detail and time span, ideal for general training or competition monitoring. Choose 10 for a stretched out graph that helps you review long-term wind trends at a glance. Recommendation. Use lower values for faster, more granular feedback. Use higher values for a broader, slower changing overview. Wind speed units. This setting determines the units used to display wind speed in the app. Default mph, options mph, m/s. How to determine what units to use. Choose mph if you're in the US and are used to measuring speed in miles per hour. Choose m/s if you're in a region like Europe or shooting disciplines where meters per second is the standard. Recommendation. Stick with what matches your ballistic software or local standards to avoid confusion for interpreting wind data. Next steps. You can immediately go to the meters page to begin analyzing live wind data. To view wind drift and bullet behavior, go to the profile page to set up your personalized rifle, bullet, and environmental conditions.